What's up everyone, John from Beyond ARTV. It's time for another episode of 7 on Sunday, and it's time also for part number 2 of some of the worst lyrics of all time. I'm talking lyrics that are going to make you cringe, lyrics that I maybe at least find personally to be detestable, to be horrible, to just be among the worst that I've heard. And since I put out the first episode of this little SOS side series about a year ago, I've been keeping tabs on hearing bad lyrics, and I would jot down notes in my phone and I'd be like, okay, this has to be used for some sort of lyric video, something where I talk about horrible lyrics. So I've been building this up for a while now. I even took some of your suggestions from the comments on the last episode. So with all of that being said, that's how I compiled the data and the lyrics for this video. Keep in mind, these are all just my choices for horrible lyrics, and maybe you don't find them to be that bad, but I just find them to, at the very least, be something that I have to roll my eyes at. Drop a like on the video, subscribe if you are new here, and let's get into the very first worst lyric.
When you spill your guts, they don't go back in.
If you spill your guts, they don't go back in. Wow, what a profound statement we have here from Hey Violet, a band that aren't exactly super popular, but they're signed to like the higher Hey label that 5 Sauce, 5 Seconds of Summer, they started. Yeah, those were one of the first signees. And while this band hasn't always been super unlikable, they make it very hard to like them at times. And this lyric that we're talking about here is from the track My Consequence from the album From the Outside that came out last year. And as soon as I heard some of the lyrics from this album, I knew that I had to put something on a horrible lyrics video. The track Hoodie from that very album was the epitome of awful. It just had so many bad lines all throughout, but I found this one from My Consequence, a song that in general tries to be so dramatic. It's just like trying to rope you into this emotional feel, except it just feels like it was written by a 12-year-old. We have If You Spill Your Guts, They Don't Go Back In. Trying to say like, oh, you know, if you say something, you can't ever take it back, but painting a very odd picture that sounds like a statement that would just be made by someone who's very matter-of-fact. Well, you know, if you get your chest cut open, that stuff's not going back in there. I just found it to be so weird, and I laughed out loud the first time that I ever heard it.
Man, this year I had 301 night stands. Keep a Costco pack of rubbers in my nightstand.
Man, this year I had 301 night stands. Keep a Costco pack of rubbers in my nightstand. That is by the one and only G-Eazy, one of the most unlikable rappers in the game, one of the most unlikable popular musicians, I would dare say, especially with his recent nightclub incident, but we shan't talk about that. This lyric is from his hit song No Limit, which also features A$AP Rocky and Cardi B, and this comes in the third verse of the track. There is an edited version, I think like for the radio, not the clean version, but it's edited down to omit the third verse. But if you actually unpack the full version of this song, you're gonna get hit with these stupid fucking lyrics that make him sound so corny and also oddly cheap. So what G-Eazy is saying here is that he had sex with 300 girls and it only lasted for one night. You know, it was just a one-off thing, you know, a hookup, whatever. Fine, you're a player, cool. Your album, The Beautiful and the Damned, that this track No Limit is on, that just came out recently, December of 2017 if I'm not mistaken, and I believe you've been involved with the singer Halsey for a while now, so either you guys have a very open relationship, or maybe there's something that you guys need to talk about, like, I really hope that those Costco rubbers are coming in handy for you. And okay, I get that I complain about rappers being braggadocious sometimes, but I didn't mean dumb it down to the point where you're actually talking about buying Costco rubbers so that you can, what, save money by buying in bulk? All I know is that G-Eazy said this song came together in like 20 or 30 minutes, and it easily shows. It sounds like he just reached for the closest thing that he could find when he was trying to say that he buys lots of condoms because he has lots of sex, and he just threw it in the song, and as a result, it made it sound like he doesn't have that much money, so maybe he's like a 50 Cent that has to file for bankruptcy, and you're gonna see him shopping at Costco for rubbers.
My heart is bound to be right out my untrimmed chest.
I have always physically cringed every single time this song comes on since it came out in 2009. This was my senior year of high school when Hey Soul Sister dominated the radio, it dominated everything. And unfortunately at the time, I was having to listen to the radio a lot, whether it be with friends riding around or just going to the mall and doing teenage things. I don't know, this song was everywhere, and I wanted it to die so badly, and I could have picked a variety of different lyrics from this band, Train, and this song, Hey Soul Sister, but I had to go with the one that I found to be the worst. My heart is bound to beat right out my untrimmed chest. Well, thank you so much, Pat Monahan, for letting me in on the little secret that you have tons of chest hair. Little secret, I don't, but nothing's beating out of this cleanly trimmed chest. Even if I did, I wouldn't be out shouting it to the world on my hit song that charted in the top 5 in the United States and would not die. This song lingered forever, like that friend that came to your party and everyone else leaves, and he's like, I'm just gonna feel the vibe out for a while, I'm just gonna stay. That's been Train with chart success, unfortunately. We all thought that they died off shortly after Drops of Jupiter, but they came back cheesier than ever in their 40s and now in their 50s, and they're still making hit songs, somehow. Play that song, 50 Ways to Say Goodbye. I mean, I'll admit occasionally they get catchy, but oh god, do they get corny, and Untrimmed Chest, that's prime example number 1.
Let me come inside you, let me plant that seed inside you.
Number 4 is by Travis Scott off of his collaboration with SZA. The track is called Love Galore. This really struck me the first time I heard it, and it struck me as odd because I thought the phrasing was just off. It's like Archer. Phrasing!
Phrasing?
Ladies in the audience, a show of hands. Who would just go crazy, just get so turned on if somebody came up to you and they were just like singing to you or trying to get you in the mood, and they say to you, let me come inside ya, let me plant that seed inside ya. Well, first of all, referring to your cum as planting that seed, I mean, the only kind of farming that I think that anyone would be wanting to do in the bedroom is perhaps the wheelbarrow position, and this doesn't seem to involve that. It seems like Travis Scott is oddly phrasing the fact that he's gotten this girl pregnant, or else he's trying to, and I believe he was dating Kylie Jenner, or maybe that was somebody else. Maybe I'm just totally misinformed. I don't know. Fact check that. It's weird, is it not? Is that not a weird lyric? Is it just me? But I feel so uncomfortable. It's not just that it's sexual, it's the fact that the way he says it just makes you feel like you shouldn't be the fly on the wall in this situation. Like, please stop talking about planting your seed.
Like bubble gum in your hair isn't fair, but it smells good.
Number 3 is by a rock band called The Dead Weather. This is one of Jack White's many side projects, and while he does do backing vocals and occasional lead vocals, this is mainly Alison Mosshart that handles the lead vocals, but Jack is on this track here as well. This is Open Up, That's Enough from their 2015 album Dodge and Burn. And the lyric is, like bubblegum in your hair isn't fair, but it smells good. I really don't even know what to say about this. I truly am at a loss for words. It sounds awful to me every single time I hear it, and I wrote this down like a year ago, seriously. I've had this in a note in my phone, and I was like, this has to make the list, because I just hate it. I like that song. The drumming on it is great, a nice guitar groove as well, but then that comes in, and I just have to laugh because it's so cheesy. Like, bubblegum in your hair isn't fair, but it smells good. So, is that some sort of deeper metaphor for life, or what? Because even if it is, it still sucks.
I ain't even seen her face, but she got beautiful boobies. And she see those diamonds in my teeth. I see.
Number 2 is from Post Malone, one of the biggest superstars in the music world right now. And disclaimer, I actually really like the majority of his album Beer Bongs and Bentleys, but this song here, it's off of Spoil My Night featuring Sway Lee, not so good, not even as a turn-up type song or a party song or whatever the kids are saying these days. The lyric police had to be pulled in for this one as Post sings, I ain't even see the face, but she got beautiful boobies. Wow. And then she see those diamonds in my teeth, in my teeth. I ain't even see the face, but she got beautiful boobies. Wow. It sounds like a third grader talking to his friend that just saw internet porn for the first time, and he's like, I'm not even looking at her face, but damn, those boobies. I'm sure there was some sense of irony or joking there to that track, but it truly doesn't come across when he delivers that line in particular. It just truly sounds like a child opening his mouth about something, talking to his friend. It's like the locker room talk that we heard about. Not that I guess boobies is inherently the worst thing in the world to say, but it's basically inherently saying that, oh, well, you walked in the room and I'm not looking at you for anything else, just the tits. You know what? I would have taken tits or boobs or even maybe hooters over boobies. That just, it sounds so bad. Boobies, 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 bees, bees. Beads?
I had raped the game young, you could call it statutory.
Finally, one of the worst lyrics of all time, one of the worst that I have ever heard. I've been wanting to talk about this for a while now because it's still just unsettling and leaves a bad taste in my mouth. This is off of a Drake song called Forever. It's the remix, which features Eminem, Lil Wayne, and you guessed it, controversial figure number 1, Kanye West. On this song, he raps, whether it's ironically or unironically, I had raped the game young. You can call it statutory. There's multiple things that do not make sense about this. The first of those being the fact that Kanye West was in his late 20s when he actually truly started to blow up. He's like 40 years old at this point, so he was by no means a young man when he broke into the game with some of his hit albums, including Graduation. I guess maybe he was referring to his production career, but most people aren't really screaming, I made it, when you start producing like a couple of hit records. It's more when you get your own hit song and you're the featured artist, but whatever, who knows? The other very obvious elephant in the room here is the fact that he is saying that he statutory raped the game, inferring that the game is like an underage girl or something, saying that he took advantage of it so hard that I statutory raped it. I mean, there's gotta be a better way to phrase that, like, I came up in the game young, you can call me predator. No, that's not better either. You know what? I'm not the rapper here. I shouldn't have to come up with a better line because that is not clever in any sense of the word. Your number 1 worst lyric today, I had raped the game young, call it statutory, by Kanye West. You know, the worst part about it is that I actually like the last song on the list, Forever. If only it didn't contain that line. It just really throws it off for me because I love Eminem on that track, even like Lil Wayne. I love Drake's part. It's just kind of one of those timeless rap songs that's like an anthem that gets you hyped up. You remember the Sprite commercials? And then Kanye with that little one-liner that he just had to throw in there like, bazinga, rape. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of 7 on Sunday. Let me know some of the worst lyrics of all time in the comment section down below. If you would like to see me do a series just on horrible lyrics, maybe on the main channel, then leave a comment letting me know some of your worst lyric choices and saying that you would like to see me do the series. Other than that, drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel, ring the bell so you get notifications when I upload future videos, and if you're able to, support me on Patreon at the top link down below. The direct link to my Patreon is over in this little card in the corner of the screen, or you can tap here to see the last worst lyrics episode featuring Lil Yachty, the Chainsmokers, and many more. If you want to see the last episode of SOS, tap here, social media linked in the description, and other than that, I'll see you soon on Beyond ARTV.